Now, let's study the reptiles. But before we go on to the teaching, I would like us to watch this video.
Today we are going to talk about reptiles. This is amazing. This is awesome. You know, the world has many different types of animals. One of the most fascinating types are the reptiles, and you're about to see why. But first, let's meet some of these reptiles. Snakes, turtles, crocodiles, geckos, lizards, and chameleons. Now look at these incredible animals. They're all reptiles. What do they all have in common? We're about to find out what makes all these animals reptiles. First of all, they are covered with scales. Not with hair or feathers, but with scales. Look at this incredible iguana. Oh my goodness, covered in scales. I mean, just look at these scales. These scales are dry and they're waterproof. And they cover the bodies of reptiles just like this iguana. Reptiles aren't covered in fur. They're not covered in hair. They're not covered in feathers. They're covered in these waterproof scales. Look at this massive snake. You can see that this snake is covered with scales. Remember, snakes are reptiles, and reptiles are covered with scales. Look at all these scales. Absolutely covered with these intricate scales. Here's an interesting example of scales. This is an albino alligator, which means the alligator is very pale. And you can see that this alligator is covered with scales, but the alligator also has these bony plates on his back. You can kind of see them there in the corner. Those are not scales, but reptiles also can have those bony plates, but this alligator is still covered with scales. Scales are a big clue that an animal is a reptile. The second thing you need to know about reptiles is reptiles breathe in oxygen. Just like we breathe in oxygen, reptiles have to breathe in oxygen to survive. Now, just like people, reptiles have two lungs in their body. Lungs bring in new air and pump out the old air. Even reptiles that live in and near water, like crocodiles and alligators, have to breathe in air to survive. Now this is so fascinating. Did you know reptiles are cold-blooded? Cold-blooded means that their bodies don't keep them warm automatically. They have to have sunlight to keep them warm. Here's a picture of a lizard that's soaking in some sunlight. This is very important for this lizard because, as with all the other reptiles, this lizard is cold-blooded. That means that the temperature of the lizard needs to have sunlight to keep it warm. It doesn't warm automatically. This lizard is cold-blooded. Here's a snake that's in the sunlight. The sunlight is helping to warm the body of this snake. This doesn't happen automatically with the snake's body because the snake is cold-blooded just like the other reptiles. Hey, here's a picture of a chameleon. Chameleons are just so cool. Now, of course, this chameleon is cold-blooded because all the reptiles are cold-blooded. If they want to get warmer, they have to go to the sunlight because their bodies don't warm them. They're cold-blooded.
Wow, that was an amazing video on reptiles. I hope you learned a lot from that video. I did. Now, let's go on to what we have on reptiles today. What are reptiles? What are reptiles? Reptiles are cold-blooded animals. Reptiles are cold-blooded animals. Their bodies do not keep them warm automatically. They need sunlight to keep warm. Do you understand? Their body cannot generate heat. Okay? They need the help of the sunlight to keep them warm. Do you understand? Now look at this lizard in the sun. Okay? Good job. What are reptiles? They are mostly covered with hard scales. They are mostly covered with hard scales or dry skin, not with hairs or furrows. Do you understand? Look at them here. Their body is covered with what? Hard scales. Can you see this? Very hard. Not with hairs. Okay, like the mammals, or with furs, like the mammals. No, these ones are different. They are covered with scales or dry skins. Can you see them? Very dry skin. And look at the scales. These are reptiles. What are reptiles? They crawl or move on their belly or on small short legs. Can you see this? What is this? Good, snake. Is it crawling or moving with short legs? Crawling, good job. Now look at this. This is a lizard. Is it crawling or moving with short legs? Moving with short legs, awesome. So they crawl or move on their belly or on small short legs, okay? Good job. Now, let's look at the examples of reptiles. So many of them. We are going to identify them as I point at them one after the other. What is this? Turtle. Awesome. This? Skink. Good job. This? Crocodile. Beautiful. This? Lizard. Wow. Good. What of this? Good job. Snake. This? Gecko. We call it war gecko. This is a gecko. Great. What of this? Tortoise. Good job. And what of this? Chameleon. Awesome. So these are the examples of reptiles. I'm sure we still have more, okay? But these are the ones we have here to show you as examples of reptiles. Is that taken? Great. What are reptiles? Most reptiles lay eggs. Can you see? This is a tortoise. Look at the eggs. Most reptiles lay eggs. Do you understand? They don't have their babies. They don't give birth to their babies live. Most of them lay eggs. Okay? Great. Reptiles breathe in air and pop out old air just like the mammals. Look at this. Breathing in air. Okay? Can you see the picture? Awesome. They breathe in air and pop out the old ones just like mammals. Okay? Great. Now we are going to look at features of reptiles. How do we know them when we see them? They crawl or move on their belly or on small short legs. That's a snake crawling. That's a lizard moving on short legs. Sure you understand? Great. How do we know them? Their skin is covered with hard, dry scales. Oh yes, you can see dry scales. Can you see this? Very dry. Dry scales. Can you see? There's no hair, no fur. Very dry. This is how you know reptiles. Most reptiles lay eggs. Oh, look at them here. Can you see this tortoise laying eggs? This is a snake laying eggs also. And look at this. Laying eggs. Okay, this is how you know reptiles. They lay eggs. They don't give birth to live babies. Do you understand? Okay, now I have an assignment for you. Having learned about reptiles, I know and I'm convinced you can do your assignment all by yourself. Okay, you're going to circle the reptiles in this picture, okay? And I have another one for you very quickly. Okay, we have a lot of mammals here. You're going to circle 10 mammals here. Okay, very simple assignment, easy peasy assignment, isn't it? Okay, I'll be waiting to see your assignment and to give you excellence in your work. I do hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for listening and bye.